Let's talk Tanya for the 22nd of Teves. In yesterday's Tanya, we explained that to be a tzaddik is not something that everyone can, it's not a goal that everyone can accomplish. It requires a special soul, and a soul that has that gift of being able to become a tzaddik. However, the Alter Rebbe now points back to a statement of the Talmud, which again, the Alter Rebbe also brings down at the very opening of Tanya, which is that before a soul comes down here to this world, it is made to swear, Tehi tzaddik va'al tehi rasha. Be a tzaddik and don't be a rasha. But based on our understanding now of what a tzaddik is, and the fact that only a very limited amount of people can actually become a tzaddik, what is the meaning of this oath that is administered to the soul that it should be a tzaddik? After all, it would seem most souls can't accomplish this. And the Alter Rebbe says, yes, it is true that most of us will not be able to ever fully actualize our goal of becoming a tzaddik. But that doesn't in any which way absolve us of working on becoming a tzaddik. Every single one of us needs to work on becoming a tzaddik. Minimum expectation is to be a Beinani. And therefore that's an aspiration which every one of us could and should arrive at. But we also need to try to become a tzaddik. What does it mean to become a tzaddik? We need to use our minds. We need to contemplate and try to create emotions. We need to try to create a love for God. We need to try to create a joy in serving God. On the other side of the spectrum, we need to create some sort of a distaste and a revulsion for worldly things if they're not being used for a godly purpose. Will we ever get there all the way? Probably not. But it's not about the result, it's about the process. And this is something which is very, very important in Chabad and in Chassidus, the idea of avodah. Avodah literally translates as work, but when you see the word avodah in a Chassidic work, it has a slightly different connotation. Avodah means internal work, work on transformation. It's not about internal transformation. It's not about how difficult it is. You know, you could be lugging stones from one side of a room to another whole day. That's not avodah. Avodah, as explained in Chassidus, is when you're working on yourself to change yourself. Very, very important component of what it is to be a Jew is to always be working on oneself, on our character, and trying to become a holier person, a more refined person, not only in thought, speech, and action. It's not only about the bottom line, because that's about being a Beinani. Tehi tzaddik elevates the bar. We also need to do the work, the internal work of trying to change our insights. And by the way, we will have success, not all the way. But if you work on creating a love for God, you will feel a little of a love for God. You will feel a little of a joy. You will have a little of a distaste for worldly things. And that internal work is very important. And we will continue on this topic tomorrow. And tomorrow we'll even have a better understanding of why this internal work is so important.